All right, party people. This your man Grill. All right, give y'all a moment to slide on up in here. All right, notifications going out. Oh man, I should have cleaned up that stuff behind me. Mm-mm-mm. Oh man, I forgot to bring my throat lozenges. Let me see if my wife will bring me up a couple. Oh man, let me call. Let me text her real quick. Normally I would hop up and run downstairs, but I guess that's not the proper thing to do for me to get up and run downstairs. So here it is. And bring me to throat. Dang. All right, cool. All right, what's going on, party people? Oh man. As always, I have ideas in my head, a plan of what I want to talk about, and I never get to really sit down and write it all out ahead of time. Had to sharpen my pencil, get that straight, and let's see here. Oh man, get my little notebook. So I didn't get any questions, so I guess everybody has the answers that they need when it comes to this notary business, or don't have any questions and all of that. But we're gonna go over. Oh, okay, gotcha. So we're gonna go over basically, are they really telling us the truth about making money in this business? And a lot of notaries or a lot of people who are becoming notaries are like thinking that they're just gonna be making all this money, this magical money, and getting paid hand over fist. And a lot of people just don't understand what it takes and what's going on with this notary business. So in the interim, can y'all tell me where y'all coming from? Let me go over here, look at my chat. What's going on, my man? Good to see you. The reason why I'm early is because my son, since it's the summer, the holiday, he coaches gymnastics. So typically he'll be coaching gymnastics from like 4 in the afternoon till about 8:15, 8:30. And right now they're doing it from 9 to 1 today. So since the kids are out for the holidays, so they have them train early in the day. I got all my signings done, all documents shipped. I don't have anything tomorrow. So I was like, no reason for me not to hop on soon. I actually wanted to get on about really around 7, but by the time I had to go put money in the bank, had to go grocery shopping. I know it seemed like I'm always grocery shopping. Had to go to the store and get some stuff. And I just wanted to make sure because tomorrow I don't plan on going anywhere. No house inspections. I don't have any of that. So tomorrow I plan on just chilling this whole weekend till Monday. Now, if some order comes up tonight that is throwing out some serious dollars, then I will most definitely hop on it for tomorrow. But other than that, right now, I have no intentions of going or doing anything. So that's why I came on early. Good to see you there. I cannot even think to pronounce that. Coco Honji, I think. Why not the block the camera and go get it? I know, but nah. Cause you know what? I leave, and then people are, oh, he ain't here, and then they just walk out the thing. What's going on, Frank? Thank you. Hit the like button. So Caprentice, I see you're seeing me on the little smaller screen because I got two views. How is that looking to you? Is that cool? or not. I mean, because this is a new thing that StreamYard is doing, allow me to do the horizontal as well as the vertical look simultaneously. And it seems like people like the fact that I can do both of them at the same time. Yeah, good. I'm glad you caught me tonight and stuff. What else? So I tell y'all, out here in the wonderful world of TikTok, okay, it's good over there, perfect. People are just telling, in my opinion, just straight lies, or they're not giving folk the full story, and it's a problem. It's a real problem because I get phone calls from people trying to understand what the heck is going on, why it's going on, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to start off tonight. Um, with a Yeah, it's crazy out there. Yeah. And they're scrambling, they desperate. See, remember, I know Caprentice remember, I predicted this that yeah, I'm early tonight, Camille. I predicted now what people don't know real quick before I tell you my prediction. I used to do the Fritter Friday like early in the morning because all of my closings was in the afternoon. And then when things shifted and I started getting my closings early in the morning, then I started doing my Fritter Friday in the afternoon. Then when I started getting closings from sun up to sundown, then I started doing it in the evening. So my Fritter Fridayism has been shifting immensely, but yeah, I used to do it like at 10 o'clock in the morning, right after I would drop my wife off to her cosmetology school. And I would just sit there because I didn't have anything. And I would just chop it up in the car. And I just had to adjust to whatever was going on. But I predicted that the trainers, them TMCs, would start having problems because they're constantly looking for new people to come in. They don't want to do the closings. The people who they might be doing notary work for is not kicking out that work to them like they used to. So now they're scrambling, like, okay, I got to get some more bodies in here. So now those people are fighting, not physically fighting, but they're fighting for your attention and your money because they need your money in order for them to survive. They're not doing closings. And if they are, they're not getting it to the level that they used to get. Or if they are getting a dollar amount, but they're not getting the numbers, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever per month, per week, or however. So they got to find other ways to attract you and to pull you in to get more money or to keep getting money out of you. That's the life of a trainer. So a lot of y'all who want to become trainers, you're going to constantly be trying to reinvent yourself. Yeah, right. Slight multi-level marketing environment, which those of you who remember, I got a y'all always talking about, man, why you always referring back to Caprentice? I'm referring back to Caprentice because he been here basically the longest. Him and Oswald and everything. And let's see here. Griffin. So let me show y'all. So right here, this video here, the notary pyramid scheme. The notary pyramid scheme. That video right there next to the mouse. That video I put out 3 years ago talking about he been with me for 4 years. Yeah, he's been with me for 4 years. So the whole time I've been on YouTube, basically. So he remembered this video, and a lot of people remember this video. I'm gonna throw this video in the link. I say in the link. I'm gonna put the link in the description, in the chat down here, and y'all go save that, bookmark that, because a lot of stuff in there I talked about. There's another video I did a while back called "Are We Making a 1% in the notary business. If I can find that, I'll put that up there. But yeah, are we making a 1% club? Basically, getting it to the point where only 1% of the people can actually make money in this business. And it seems like that. It really, 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 really do um appears to be that way. And a lot of people just don't understand that, the scam that's going on, you know, it's here it is. Yeah. So there's another video that I did right here called Let's Not Create a 1% Club in the Notary Industry. I'll share that with y'all. You're right. That's really what it is. It is a multi-level marketing thing. It is truly. That's why you got these people setting up where they got ambassadors and representatives in each and every state. They got all these private Facebook groups. Then they got folk, representing here and there and this and that, all of that. So that's what's going on. That's where the money is at, is getting people to pay for some kind of education that they may or may not really need. And even if they may need it, the person who's training you may not be a person who knows how to teach and help you to get educated. And then it says, I'm interested in being a state specific trainer, not to get rich, but to help standardize things and cut down on errors and a lack of clarity in Tennessee. So, how long have you been in the business? Because my take has been you really need to be in the business actively doing it, whether actively part-time or full-time, in my opinion, about 3 years. The reason why is because that way you have some skin in the game, some longevity. Because if the training doesn't work out, doesn't pan right for you, at least you've already got yourself established as a notary in the business. And if the training doesn't seem to be taking off, meaning not so much that you can't train, but that the people aren't receptive to it because they don't want to be trained correctly. They want to be trained with a bunch of bull jive since 2022. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you have your business solidified for what you're doing as a notary, because if them folk start acting a fool and they really want you to train them this way because who they pay a whole bunch of money to ain't training them, it'll frustrate you left and right. So I always suggest, um, oh, okay, ooh, this is a video here. Okay, keep that one there. So that's why I always suggest you at least be in the business for about 3 years, get yourself solidified, make sure you solid before you go out here trying to train them. And then you have to define what you're going to train them in. You have to make sure you have all the resources and understanding of what you need to train them in. Because if you're trying to train them on not on the lack of errors, making sure they're clear on information for your state, you have to understand that a lot of them are seeing these other people, and more than likely, the most of the people who are going to come to you for training, it's not so much to make, it's not so much to learn clarity. They say that, but it's really how do I make money, and you have to work through all of that. And once you work through all of that, then you can try to pin them down. And it might be a small group. That's why when I do my notary certificate training, it's only 10 people. A lot of the training that I've done is really only a small group of people. I'm not trying to go to the masses. I'm trying to help a small group of people learn what they need to learn. I'd rather do a small group, small group, small group, rather than once a month, this big, huge group. And 98% of the people are just there just to be there, but they not really learning anything. So you have to make sure that you have that solidified, and you have to be willing to say, I'm gonna stop. You got to be willing to say, I'm going to stop because I see y'all not taking this serious and it's a waste of time. So guess what? I ain't messing with y'all no more. I'm going to keep making my money doing what I was doing. And you'll pare it down to where you're really only helping a small group of people. So it's nothing wrong with wanting to be a trainer, helping people out. Um, but you also have to make sure you understand that some people don't want to be helped. They just want to be a part of foolishness. They just got into business for the wrong reasons. As I always say, how you market the business determine how people come into the business. So 98% of the time, they're going to see other marketing about the business. And when they get to you, they're going to be thinking you're going to help them accomplish what they heard so and so say that they can do in the business. And that's what and that's where the headbutting comes in, because they're gonna be like, well, you're a waste of time. And the other thing is you have to keep this in mind. Probably 75% of the time, those people who you're trying to help out would then turn around and try to steal your material and then teach people on the cheap. They will. They would do that. They would steal your material and then go try to teach somebody the exact same thing you just taught them for way less just so they can make some coins. And y'all know I had that problem with a young lady. So half of these don't have platforms that teach much anyway. It's overcomplicated. It's catty. I have hard. I've had a hard time with that. Very wicked groups out there. Yes, they are. And you've been active since 2018. That's good. I got in the same time. Yes, a lot of them lack proper resources and many videos are outdated. Correct. People get lost in the shuffle. Good evening to you, my man. Or send your material through links that go back. Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. You say I'd be willing to go do it for free, perhaps for a nonprofit. That's admirable. You just got to make sure that you understand that people not gonna come in with your same heart. It's gonna be a small smidgen of people who gonna be willing to come in and do it like you. So also, let me what's going on, Mark? Hold up. Let me show y'all this. John Maxwell. Of the lid. Okay. Let me show y'all something here. Um, let me see if I can find it. Because this here, I was hoping they had a diagram, more of a diagram of it. um, all right. So let's see if I can zoom this in for y'all to show y'all. So there's a gentleman named John Maxwell, great leadership instructor. So let me read this. I wasn't planning on doing this, but this is important. This is why I'm talking about you need to have at least 3 years in the business, actively doing it, whether full time or part time. It says John Maxwell law up here of the lid states that a person's leadership ability acts as a lid that determines their potential and effectiveness. The higher leadership ability leads to a higher lid, while lower leadership ability results in lower lid on potential and effectiveness. To increase effectiveness, a leader must focus on improving their leadership skills to raise their lid, which in turn allows the organization to lead and grow. The leadership is the ceiling. An organization's growth and success are capped by the leader's ability. If a leader has a rating of a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10, their effectiveness cannot exceed a 6, which means you cannot try to lead somebody who's on the level of an 8 or a 9 or a 10. You as a 7 cannot lead anybody like that. Now, on the flip side, you also got to keep in mind, if you've only done the business 3 to 6 months and now you're trying to be an educator, you're only educating them based off of at least the 5 months that you've been in the business. And that's the extent of your knowledge. Your knowledge base is 5 months. That's where you're at. So then most people, when they switch over to this training thing, this mentoring, lead and coaching, they then stop really being active out there in the notary streets. And when you become less active in the notary streets, we're gonna get to the topic tonight about, you know, how this business flows. But when you get less active in the notary streets and the people you're teaching are active in the notary streets, at some point in time, they're going to surpass you in their experience level. So you got to find a way to keep your experience up and to have some grace, have some space between you and the people you training. You need to have some years under your belt, in my opinion. Just hopping out here and be like, oh wow, this is easy. And I'm not saying this is you, um, Corey. I'm not saying this is you. I mean, you got training coming up, and that's one of the best steps that you can take. We're gonna be doing the training. She's taking the notary certificate training on the 7th with me. Links in the description. When you have some time under your belt and you proving yourself to yourself, I'm not talking about proving yourself to other people, proving yourself to yourself that, hey, I'm in this to win it. Okay, I got it. I've been through the fire. I made some mistakes. I did this. I did that. Now you got 3, 4 years of experience that you can lean on to help those people out. And then if you can find a way to keep growing, that's why I'm still out here doing the closings. That's why I'm still doing it, because I'm gaining more and more experience. So so yeah, I've been in the business 7.5 years now. I got 7.5 years of experience on top of me sharing information about what's going on in the business, because I got a lot to pull on, and I'm not void of what's going on in the notary scheme. You see what I'm saying? I know what's going on, and I'm learning more and more, and I'm trying to figure out why they're doing certain things. When you have somebody who has been like out of the game for 2, 3 years, after a while, their whole thing gets stale. They're no longer fresh, and they're just regurgitating stuff from back in yesteryear. Oh yeah, when I was doing it, yeah, you could do this. Okay, yeah, when I was doing, yeah, we always got $100 or $200. Okay, well, yeah, that was it. Things have changed. And then they get angry that things have changed because now they're no longer making the money with the training. They want to come back into doing the loan closings, and they realize that the rates have dropped down 45% or more, and now they're upset. But see, if you stayed in the game, kept your pinky finger in there, kept your pinky toe. I ain't picking my foot up. Put your pinky toe in there and just kept close to it. You might not be as shocked. You would have seen the pattern coming, but you didn't. You see what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on now, Corey? What's up? What's up with you? Good to see you. Yeah, the TMCs are changing their approach and trying to act up to date when all they're doing is changing the wording. That is correct. They're just changing the wording. I got a video out there called Questions to Ask Your Notary Trainer. Go search for it. Go on YouTube, type in Griffin Notary, um, Notary Trainer. If you do that, it'll bring that video up. It'll bring that video up, Notary Trainer. And one video I need to put in the chat for y'all real quick, which helps out with what we're talking about tonight. And thank y'all for kicking it with me. Is this video that I just put in the chat is about how orders come to you, and I show people how the notifications of the orders come. Okay, in that video there, it shows from start to finish. It's about what, 12 minutes long, and it's amazing. It got less than 1,000. It got less than 900 views on it. So people always talking about they want to try to understand how this business flows and how the money comes and how the orders come and stuff. They don't even look at that video. So You need to look at that video. You need to pass that on to all your other friends who are trying to understand this business, because this is stuff that nobody is showing y'all. They're not showing y'all how it comes in. That's why, in my opinion, this is the best notary education channel out here in the space. Okay. Are there other channels that could be considered better than mine? Yes, from the standpoint they're peddling stuff and they got more viewers, but for us really helping you to understand the nitty gritty, there's nobody out here doing it as good as me. Okay. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just telling you, ain't nobody out here trying to show y'all and teach y'all the things that y'all need to really know. Now, here's what a lot of people are trying to figure out. Is this notary business right for them? Should they do it? All of that. The notary business can be right for you, but it depends on your vision and what you want to be done in the notary business. It is right for most people based off of what their goals are and what they want to see accomplished in their own life. To become a notary is simple. You can go to your Secretary of State website and become a notary. You can search how to become a notary in Montana. What's the Notary Secretary of State website? And you can go there and follow their instructions on becoming a notary. It's that simple. Some people might go to the NNA, which is called the NAT, which is abbreviation for the National Notary Association. You can go there, but they tend to upsell you on stuff that you really, 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 really don't need, because they're really about selling you products and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Uh, just yeah. I wish you could have got this years ago. Yeah. So um so now the thing is that we're going to talk about the loan closing. Okay. We're going to talk about we're going to start off with the loan closing. And what a lot of people are trying to figure out is how to make money, or how do you get selected. um right, yeah, they're money trained too. The NNA is strictly a money train. That's why a lot of people don't like them, and I understand people want to shut them down. But that's why I did the video about the background searches. And in the background searches, they do serve a purpose, okay, for the banks and the financial industry. They may not be serving a real great purpose for us, but they are serving a purpose for them. And I get it. I now have a better understanding. I wish they would do more for us, but right now they're not. And if you want to advocate anything, I would advocate getting the NNA to step their game up and protecting us. Protecting us from what? Protecting us from predatory title companies, signing companies, and lenders. Well, how are they preying on notaries? They're preying and trying to get us to do stuff that is outside of the scope of our notary statutes. Hey, backdate this document. Hey, don't worry about their ID. We verified that, Sarah Williams used to be Sarah Jones, and you can go ahead on and have her sign it, but I don't have the proper ID. Well, don't worry about that. You can take our word for it. That kind of stuff comes from the title company. In Virginia, we can't collect closing funds. And then you have the signing company and the title company telling us, oh, yes, you can. You can take it. Other notaries take it. Where does it say that I can take that in our state law? Well, I don't know about all that, but we haven't had a problem. No. So if I'm supposed to be somebody of integrity and doing things in accordance with my state law, I need support and backing for that. So when you call the NNA in these situations, I've never had the NNA be willing to talk to the people who are telling me to violate my state law. Now, the NNA gives me the correct answer as to whether I can or cannot, but the NNA will not speak on my behalf or like speak up for me and say, hey, the notary is telling you the truth. They cannot do this. The NNA doesn't do that. They will not do that for you. They just tell you what to do, what you should and shouldn't do. You try to tell the people don't want to listen to you. Now you're in a conundrum because they don't believe you. The people who are telling you the lies, juice, that, and the other, they don't believe you, and you can't get the NNA to speak and back you up on that. And it's really not even backing you up. It's telling them the truth about what you should and shouldn't be doing, and the NNA won't hop in there and do that. So that's the problem. Okay. So when it comes to making money in this business, what people need to understand, and let me go back. Oh, it's over here. So what people need to understand, and I'm trying to pull this up. Hold on one second. Uh, okay, I got the link. All right, so Notary Pay. This is a playlist that I have called Notary Pay. And one of the videos in there that I have deals directly with the flow of business that comes from these title companies. Okay. There's a video that I have that deals with that. And I want y'all to go when after this here, look at it. But here's what you need to understand. There is like I got this thing here with paper clips and money in there. Okay. Paper clips, and y'all can see I got money in there. A lot of people think that the loan closing side of the house is once you become a notary, there's all of this bucket of orders that is out here that you just get to choose from, and that they're just holding on, waiting for you to come in. And they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came in, Shaquanda. Hey, I'm so glad you came in, Earl. Hey, look, we got all these. Just grab one. We've been holding these for you for like 2 or 3 weeks." No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. When they come in, this is what they want to have happen. When the orders come in here, they're trying to dump them out. When more orders come in, they dumping them. They like, "Hey, we got to get this done." And the notaries are like, "Well, but I can't get an order. Why not? How is this happening? What's going on?" So what you need to understand is what's going on is that the orders all start from the lender or realtor, and then it goes through the title. And for most of us, it's going to go through a signing company down to us. That's the flow. So the signing company you with, so even though you signed up for 300 signing companies, if the signing companies are not connected with title companies who are connected with lenders that got business in your area. So the thing is that lender and title company working together, and they got business. They got 400 orders a month. That signing company is connected with them, but the problem is the lender does not have a client in your area, in the notary's area, that needs a notary services. So you can sign up for everybody and their mama, but if they don't have the right connections, then you are not going to get any business. It's that simple. So then you say, well, pull this up. So then you say, well, bump that. I'm going to work directly for title. It's the same thing. You can work for title, the lender, and then you go through the title, and then the title gives you the business. But if the title company is only working with 2 or 3 lenders, 2 or 3 builders, and they only got the title company itself only has 8 to 10 closings per month, and they're working with at least, let's just say, they're working with at least 4 or 5 notaries, that's not going to be enough business for you. You might get 2 if you're lucky, because if you're the new notary, they're not going to be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to get," no, they're going to be like, "Nah, no, Philip, he got it, he been here the longest, so he gets first dibs. So it's no different than if you was with a signing company. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me, okay? Anybody out here, please correct me if I am wrong in what I'm saying. I'm gonna come back to y'all for a sec. Please correct me because people think that there's some magical way that business is supposed to come, and they're not telling you that. So when you see people online, on Instagram, on TikTok talking about, well, I only do 15 orders a week. Okay, how long did it take you to get to that point? Because it didn't just happen overnight just because you took somebody's 3-letter course. It did not happen overnight. You had to prove yourself. So what did you do to prove yourself, and who did you prove yourself to? And are you in my area? Because if it's flowing like that in your area, it may not flow like that in mine. And that's just the truth of the matter. That is just the truth of the matter. So they're saying is, oh yeah, I get paid $150 a pop. So right off the bat, that's all you've ever gotten paid. You've never gotten paid anything less. Well, I mean, it didn't happen like that in the beginning. You worked your way to that. You have specific clients. But then the question now is, okay, if you stop the training, because most of these people that's talking that talk are trainers. So now, feel free to throw any questions in there based off of what we're talking about that pop in your head, or you may already have. And because some people don't like being public with their questions. If you want, you can just email me real quick, like at notaryhelp@griffin.notary.com. You can hit me up with a quick question so you can be anonymous and all that good stuff to the public. But they're not telling you this. They're not telling you the flow and how you get the work. Okay. I have a playlist out there called Slow or No Orders. Okay. Slow or No Orders. That playlist talks about whether or not why you're not getting work and the selection process. Okay. It's talking about that. It's talking about the selection process for you to get selected by these signing companies. Oh, okay, I know why. That's the videos. So where is it? I gotta find that so I can put that in. So that is here, y'all. Let me give y'all the link to this. So this here is Slow or No Orders. All right. All right, it said, but how do we get the work, especially if we are our own business? Not specifically loan signings, but notary work in general. We're going to talk about that. Thank you for the question. So, when it comes to loan closings, the first thing to me is your profile. You got to have a good profile. What does the profile say? It says that you know what the heck you're doing, which is why I do the notary certificate training. Links in the description. I do that training. Also have the one-on-one talk to griff.com. You go there, book me for a 30-minute session, $10, so I can answer any questions that you have, because some people still don't like asking questions publicly, and they have specific things. And sometimes you have one or two things that you need to get solidified in your mind and get a vision of how it's supposed to work or how it don't work. And then you're like, okay, I got it. Now I can go. I'm off to the races. Now, to get the work, you need to let people know that you know what you're doing. It's not about the fact that you got a fancy Canva advertisement, you got a shirt with a logo on it. This ain't no logo. This just a thing for the shirt that came with the shirt. That lets people know that you're out here, but it doesn't tell them that you know what the heck you're doing. Now, you have to be mindful and balance it out with trying to get too technical with people about the fact that you know what you're doing. but there are crafty ways of there are ways you can craft it, not crafty. There are ways you can craft it. You can use Chat GTP, DeepSeek, or whatever AI to by writing what you want to say and then asking the AI to say, hey, based on what I've said here, how do I explain to them that I understand that I know what I'm doing as a notary? How do I explain that I know? Note what I'm saying, that you know what to do. Now, at this point, it's not about the years of experience because the people don't care. If you can communicate that you know what you're doing, they'll be like, hey, come on down. I got you. You see what I'm saying? No problem. Just like you might see a older man with a younger woman, or a younger woman with an older woman with a younger man, and you like, well, why they with that youngster? That youngster showed them, hey, I know what I'm doing, and and back it up. They can back it up. Well, why is that person, this young person, the senior manager? Because they show what they can do, told what they can do, show what they can do, and that's why they're in the position they're in. So when a person can show you, they can tell you, but then back it up by showing you, okay, I got you. You're gonna be my number one. That's how it works. Okay. It says, but when you're new at it, you don't have to have experience, you have to have knowledge. So a lot of people, and they know that, that's why they tell you, hey, take this training course, take this training course. But I always ask and I always say, you got to ask them, what am I being educated in? So the first thing you need to be educated in is how to do your job as a notary. Again, shameless plug, the notary certificate training. That's why I am doing it. That's why I'm doing it, because I want y'all to understand that, and I'll just put the link here, because if you don't know how to properly notarize, you are not going to be able to keep getting work long term. You have to know how to do your job as a notary. You have to. The next classes coming up is December 6th and 7th, and then 13th and 14th. 3-hour training. We talk everything there is. I don't care what state you're in. I can help you understand how to do the proper notarizations for any state out here. Okay. I am probably one of the few, if any, trainers that are dealing with this subject of teaching you how to do proper notarizations no matter what state you're in. Because the other trainers are all saying, what? Oh, I can't teach you how to notarize in accordance with your state law. So that tells me they don't know how to read. Because all you got to do is just read the daggone handbook. And that'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay. You say, okay, state doesn't matter. That's good. Yeah, it doesn't matter what state you're in. I promise you, you will learn how to notarize, because the basics and the mechanics of it is all the same. Okay. So you got to have a good profile when it comes to loan closing, which communicates that you understand what to do. There's videos that I have out there on the channel about profiles. So if you type in Griffin Notary in the YouTube search bar, profiles, you'll see all kind of videos pop up. And there's a playlist about profiles and all of that. So the profile says, hey, I know what the heck I'm doing. I know what I'm doing with regards to this. For non-loan closing work, dealing with the general public, it's essentially the same thing. And you have to find a crafty way to a creative way to express it that they will understand. And then how you get to that point is that you come up with a way to communicate that you know what you're doing as a notary, that they can trust you. And then you ask somebody who knows nothing about the business, read this and tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. Tell me, what is it that you wouldn't want to hear coming from me that will give you confidence to select me? See, that's how you figure it out. And then they like, oh, I want this and that and that. Okay. And then you craft it that way. Don't worry about whether it's your idea or not. It's about, can I get this to effectively communicate that you need to select me? That's how I would do it. Hey, Fred. And I would ask different people of different socio-economical backgrounds. What do you think? Now you can't meet everybody's feelings of how they think you should communicate, but you can at least get an idea. And then now you take what the upper class person, the middle class person, the not middle class person, the person that got 2, 3 kids and they got stressed because they view things different. They tight on money. You got people who got money, they don't care about. Okay, cool. And then when you market, you can use all of that to market to them differently in the space that they're at. So you can market in the laundromat a certain way. You can market at Starbucks a certain way. You see what I'm saying? But all of this censors comes all the way back around to, do I know how to do my job as a notary? And that's the number one thing that none of these trainers are doing. They're not teaching you how to do your job as a notary. They're trying to teach you to do what somebody else wants you to do, which is the title company and the lender and the signing company. Now, it's okay to teach you that, but is that what you legally supposed to be doing in accordance with your state law? If it is, hey, let's go for it all day, every day. But if it's not, and you know you're not going to get the backing of the NNA, the National Notary Association, to say, hey, Griff, you're right. You ain't supposed to do that. And Mr. or Miss Signing Company, title company, or lender, you cannot make them do that because that'll be violation. We don't have that. So you got to be able to stand 10 toes down. Okay. Even if you're dealing with the general public will ask you to do things that are not correct. And sometimes it's out of ignorance. They may not know. Like today, good friend of mine asked me to notarize. She had a copy of her driver's license and wanted it notarized. And I was thinking it was on a form or something. And it was just a picture of her thing, and she signed it. I said, no, what you got to do is write a statement saying what's the purpose of this here copy of your driver's license. And she made a statement, and that was her. And I added a jurat to it. She was sworn in, added the jurat, boom. You see what I'm saying? So I had to stop her and say, okay, no, this is the way it's supposed to be. And I added a jurat loose certificate. I don't like the stamp. Personally, I just don't like the jurat stamp. I ain't got time to be carrying all these bags of stamps and stuff. I'd rather have the paper, and everything was good to go. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know what to do in those cases. You got to know your job. And when you understand your job, then people will be more confident in you. But if you don't know what to do, you know how to market to them, but you don't know how to convince them that you know what to do as a notary. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help, but you can't spend every single appointment. Yo, Griff, okay, what is this? And most of the times it's all the way back to what? They don't know. You don't know how to do your notary certificates. So the question here is, big question here. When you are doing multiple documents, are you looking over all the documents, checking for places to initial and all of that? You're still looking over the documents fully correct. All right. So, as always, I got a video for that. I got a video for that. Okay. I have a video for that. Notary. So I have a video for that. Oh, where the heck is it? Here it is. So I have a video for that called Help. Where do I sign? It's in a playlist that I have called Notary Basics. I will show you the direct link for that. I also have this video here about what's the difference between a signing company and a notary database. This is why I encourage y'all to just sometimes just go through and look at my site so you can see what videos I have, because I got over 2,000 videos out there. Okay, over 2,000 videos out there. Okay, that's what you need to really take time out and go through there, look at the playlist. I got all kind of videos out there. Okay. and stuff. Now, when it comes to the marketing for non-mortgage stuff, the quote unquote general notary work, which falls into apostilles, wills, power of attorneys, all of that, you have to have somebody who would need your service. And then the big thing is, and this is across the board, you got to be available. I always say the number one way, and this is a phrase that I put together, the number one way to market your business is to be ready to do business. And there are a lot of people who market, but they're not ready to do business. And what I mean is not from the standpoint they don't know what to do. They may know what to do as a notary, but oh, they got this going on, that going on. Oh, I can't. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you got to be available for everybody every single time, but if the majority of the time that you're getting opportunities, you're never available, then how in the world can you grow your business? You can't grow any business like that. So that's what you have to understand. And when I understood that availability matters is your notary knowledge and then your availability. And your availability matters more than your marketing because somebody can tell somebody about you word of mouth. And if they tell about you word of mouth, then it's like, all right, cool. Hold on one second. Hold on, I got to tell my wife something. All right, I gotta tell her something. That was the thing that I learned. So get my knowledge here, get my availability there, then how can I not make money? Because if I know what the heck I'm doing and I'm available, come on. The phone rings, I'm available. The email comes in, I'm available. The text message comes, I'm available. Now, granted, if you are doing this part time, your availability is limited. But when you're not working your job and you're not doing all this other stuff, whatever it may be, are you available? Because if you're working from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening and somebody needs you at 8, are you available? I mean, yeah, I can be. I'm off, but man, I don't feel like going out and nah, I don't feel like going out. Okay, that's one time. And if every single time that scenario comes around, it's no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't, then how can you make money? So then you sign up for the next course, the next thing, and you're like, I'm still not making money. Are you available for it? So if you look at this notary business, you'll see what? That they talk about you being making money as a notary, and no sooner than you come into business, they start directing you off into field inspections, specimen collecting, process servers, what the heck else? Fingerprinting. So it's like, okay, I came in to be a notary. So am I being a notary business owner, or is it more about just being an entrepreneur with a whole bunch of stuff that I got going on? And I tinker in a little bit of all of this, but I'm not really solidified in any one thing. So now you came in, they hook you with being a notary and making $10,000 a month. You quickly find out, as well as they already knew, you might not be making $10,000 a month. So then they say, well, to make $10,000 a month, you have to be a notary business owner or just, and expand. And now you start seeing all these people who barely been in a business a year. I'm a TikToker and I can teach you this, that, and the other. And I can train you on how to do your business. And they get real proper and they all polished and all of that. And I can show you how to make money as this here and do this and do that. That's why I was sort of going back and forth about the person overcharging processing fees, charging fees that don't exist in accordance with their state law. But they're telling you, hey, here's what I do. And you should understand that when I say this is what I do, It doesn't mean that you should do it either, even though I'm not going to actually say that until somebody calls me out on it. But until then, this is what I do. And then you start doing what they said they do, and you thinking that you're right. And the next thing you know, you chink chink getting locked up, getting losing your commission behind following this fool. And I consider somebody a fool being a fool for sitting here opening your mouth and saying that you do something knowing that it might not be legal in somebody else's state, but then gonna put the onus back on them. Oh, they shouldn't have listened to me. You shouldn't have opened your mouth. Oh, another subject. But y'all get what I'm saying. So you have to be able to be available and do and be able to get out there and know what you're doing. They go hand in hand. Without that, how can you actually make money in anything? Oh, I know how to do my job as a school bus driver. Great. Oh, but I ain't coming in today. Okay, well, we understand you. Oh, you ain't coming in tomorrow. Okay. Every time we turn around, you're on vacation. You can't make money. There's no scenario where you can make money in your job as at a W-2. I ain't talking about being a CEO or no, if you're never showing up. You're never showing up. How can you have a great marriage relationship or dating relationship if you ain't never around? You ain't, even though there's women talking about don't text me, don't call me, asking me how my day went. Okay, fine. And then when the dude don't call you, then it's like, okay, where you been at? Can't have it both ways. When somebody wants to be a part of your life, let them be a part of your life. When they want you to be a part of their life, be a part of their life. When somebody needs you to be a notary and help them out, if you know you can be there for them, be there for them. It's that simple. And I don't understand why people don't understand that and why people aren't teaching that, but that's not what they're teaching. So, can you make $150 an hour? I mean, per appointment? Yes. Can you make $400? Yes. But when you look at what the person saying it was on TikTok, they listed, well, I did this, and do. See, what you have to do is decide, how do you want to make money? Do you want to make money doing 5 or 6 different things that may or may not necessarily be related to being a notary? Yeah. To being a notary, or do you want to make your money coming from notary? Now, right now, for me, the bulk of my money, probably 95%, comes from me being a notary. A little bit from teaching, a little bit from the YouTube, and a little bit from field inspection. But the vast majority of the money that I make is coming from me going out here and doing the notary business. And it took time. Because see, right now, people say, well, see, Griff, you took, man, you're OG. It takes time, yes. Now, if you're not willing to go through the process to get to that point, then I don't know what to say. Because in everything in life, it's a process. In order to have a 30-year marriage, it's a process. In order to have a good, have great children that you raise, it's a process. And if you're not willing to go through the process to have a child, is 9 months. People get, how can you not be willing to go through the process of growing your notary business, but yet you're willing to be engaged for 5 years? Because you want to get married after your degree, after you get your promotion. Hmm? If you got kids already, I want to wait till all my kids are grown and out the house after they hit 18, and then I go hook up with somebody. You got all of these things that you're willing to wait on, but you can't wait for the notary business. What is going on in your life that's so bad that you can't wait to grow and to build and to become established in this notary business, but yet you can wait 5 years to get married to somebody who wants to marry you now? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So the business comes in based on the need of the people out there. This is a service business. We are serving others, whether a title company, a lender, the general public, all of that. So when you're doing apostilles, you can market and say, hey, I do apostilles. Make sure you have to give them a little synopsis of what an apostille is, this, that, and the other. Probably also let them know, in accordance with your state law, what you can and can't apostille or be a part of doing for apostille, and what they need to go do to get it done, whether it's a passport or a driver's license, all of that. You have to be able to do that. So the business comes in based on need. You're serving them and you have to let them know. But then if they don't need something apostille, then how do you make your money? Because most of the times I'm hearing people talking about the destination weddings. Okay, well, how many people getting destination weddings? Because I'm meeting with Fran and John, and Fran and John are getting a destination wedding in February. Okay, cool. We going through getting all the opposite steel stuff done. And how many destination weddings is John and Fran gonna do? Unless they catting around with somebody and they trying to, doing the polygamy thing. But that's them. Okay, that's in February. I need money now. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, unless I'm wrong, please correct me. And I think my man Byron is in here, but it's not like you just stand there and then people come running to you saying they need apostille. And even with that, you still got to be ready. You still got to be available to do it and have time. And see, I don't have time. That's why I don't mess with it. Same thing with estate planning. With all of them, you have to be in an area. You have to be marketing to people who need that service. You can't just say, well, I do estate planning and then just make somebody want to have their estate planning done. And then you have to be careful about you being someone who's marketing estate planning and doing the notarization. That could be considered a conflict of interest. And you have to also be careful that somebody's trying to get you a part of an estate planning grouping thingy and trying to teach you how to explain and go over the documents. That might be a violation of your state law. So you really got to sit back and make sure you're not getting yourself in all kinds of trouble trying to make a quick buck. And that's part of the reason why you're taking 5 years before you marry this person, because you don't want to do what? Rush into something. But yet you're willing to rush at breakneck speed into the notary business and to do whatever they tell you to do that's going to make you some money. And it's just destroying you left and right. Because what ends up happening, you end up doing this here. You end up doing this.
And congratulations on purchasing the fabric for fortune. Head of the game, millionaire, mastery clothing course. You've officially taken your first step towards greatness and your first step towards helping me pay off my T-Mobile bill. I appreciate that. Thank you. Today I'm going to show you how you can take a $7 shirt from Walmart and turn it into a high top tier luxury brand that's priced at $350. Yeah, I know the price margins are so high that they need their own oxygen tank. But if you listen, I'm going to show you how you can do it. First, get a 24-pack of white t-shirts from Walmart and a pack of Sharpie markers. And you already know what to do. I want you to freehand draw your own logo on every t-shirt. And from there, take pictures of it with your iPhone and post it on Facebook Marketplace. Welcome, and thank you for buying the super successful affiliate marketing masterclass. Here where your dreams can go from maybe one day to maybe if I keep buying courses. And I appreciate you for choosing mine. Thank you. Now I am getting ready to show you a life-changing strategy for affiliate marketing that's going to make you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands a month. Now, I've been doing affiliate marketing for about 2 hours now. Literally just got off of YouTube and found out how, all of this works. So first you have to find a link or something like that. And then I'm almost certain you have to post it on like a social media platform or something. Like I said, I'm just now learning this, bro. I mean, hey, I kind of got you started though, to be real. Welcome to part 3 of the Success Traders Masterclass. I'm telling you, you are on your way because you got me on my way. I'm about to show you how you can make more money than you ever dreamed of. Now, I have to keep it quiet because this is a secret. Not too many people know about this. And I barely know myself. But like I said before, we're going to learn together. So the first thing you're going to do is okay. So you're sitting here in this closet while we got customers. Oh, no, I was trying to find a broom. Derek, we got a line out the door. So we'll go ahead and clock out for me. Clock out? Welcome.
This is what you're doing in the notary space, going from I think I can make money, 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 and you never get solidified in any of the stuff at all. Credit repair, affiliate marketing, all of this stuff. And I don't see why y'all don't see the game. So here's the big thing. How to make money as a notary? Focus on being a notary. Focus on that and learn that, and then go execute it repeatedly over and over and over again. See, to be a notary, to make money, you cannot sit here, okay, I'm going to be a notary on Monday, but on Tuesday, I'm going to be a wedding officiant. On Thursday, I'm going to be process server. On Friday, I'm doing nothing but estate planning. I mean, not estate planning. What's that thing? Field inspections. You're just constantly bouncing back and forth all over. To make money in any business industry, you got to lock in. And the problem is that many of you are unwilling or don't know how to lock in. What I figured out is that once I understood how to do the job that I signed up to do, that put me in a position to lock in. I was able to lock in. But as long as my mind was all over the place, I couldn't lock in. And then I got discouraged and I started thinking that, okay, well, this ain't working. It's not working fast enough. How dare they pay me this fee? What is wrong with y'all? You see what I'm saying? I got a check earlier this week for $380. $360 of that was from orders of $60 a piece. Do you think I cared that I did $60? No, I don't, because and it was for one company. I did all those orders, and they had a $20 order, which was for a print fee because the order got canceled last minute. But everything was $60. Do you think my bank account is mad at me and saying, hey, don't put that in here? Don't put that in here because that was too many orders at $60. I only want you to do one order for $300 and some dollars. No, my bank account don't care. My bank account said, come on, bring it on. My bank account was happy. And I got some, that's why I was able to go grocery shopping. So that's the thing. So are you locked in? And if you're not locked in, it don't matter what they say you can do in this business. If you're not locked into it to learn it and to give it time and allow it to materialize, allow it to develop, allow it to go through its progressions, and you go through your progressions as a business owner, you're never going to make money in anything because you're not patient. You see, back in the day, we used to have to work a week in a hole, which means when I get hired, I have to work 1 week, and then the next 2 weeks, and then I get my paycheck. So that meant 3 weeks you had to work before you got a paycheck. Go look it up. Let me see if I can find that. How many people out there remember working a week in the hole? Do anybody remember that? Working a week in the hole. Right here. Oops. Says right here, working a week in the hole means an employee is paid to work for work done in a previous pay period. So their first paycheck is delayed and it is less time than they worked. It's a common payroll practice for employees in areas that allow time for processing payroll information like time cards, deductions, this, that, and the other. So lag time, the gap between when you work and when you get paid, is often called a pay lag. That's what I use. That's what I grew up on. I used to work a week in a hole. So you start, and a lot of times it was in between pay periods. So you work this week, and then you work the next 2 weeks, which is the beginning of the the full 2 week pay cycle, and then you get a paycheck for 3 weeks. If you're not willing to work and to grow and develop what you got, how are you going to be successful? That's the secret sauce. The secret sauce is you being willing to be consistent day in and day out. That's how you make money in this business. They are correct, because guess what? That's what they did. Yo, yo, trying to get somebody's attention. Go out there. Nobody can hear dad. Nobody can hear dad. All right, I was trying to get attention to do something for me. But that's the thing. If consistency is the key, no matter what. That's right. That consistency is the key. And what you are seeing out here is people are unwilling to be consistent, or they don't know how to be, because they're constantly quitting their day jobs. See, if you really sit back and look, it's like, even with these trainers, it's like, okay, I thought this was the key to making money in this notary business. Oh, well, yeah, that was the key yesterday, but today there's another key to make money in this notary business, and it's this. All right, cool. You be sitting up there with your pencil, got your book out, and then it's like, yeah, to go and to be a notary for CBT companies that sell the marijuana. What you first got to do is find you a dealer, find you somebody who's selling weed, and then you get that weed, and then you find somebody who can distribute it, and then you can be a notary for them. Yeah, that's where we're at with this business. So if you want to make money in the notary business, you gotta first be willing to be committed. If you're not willing to be committed, then how can you make money? It's not so much the things that they're saying. Yes, you can do CBD, market your notary business to people who own those CBD factories that sell, medicinal marijuana. You can make money. Apostille, you can make money. Process serving, field inspections. You can make money with all of that. Wills, power of attorneys, loan closings, all in kind of. You can make money doing all of that. But how committed are you to that? Make sure there's not no order. How committed are you to that? And if you're not willing to go through the fire of growing and building your business, you're never going to be successful. It's just that simple. There's just no way it's going to happen. And no matter how many courses you buy, You're never going to grow your business to something successful because you're not willing or able to be committed to seeing it through all of the stages of growth that it needs to go through. And you can't handle the ups and downs. I just had to replace this printer right here. Remember, for months I've been telling you, yeah, I got an extra printer over here. I got an extra printer. Last night it was like, yep, I'm done. The laser and the fuser both were like, okay, we at 0%. This one is at 6%. So that means I got to replace that one next. And this one, they don't even make this model anymore, the 6200. So that means I'm gonna have to buy this one, a 6210. I'm already looking at it and I'm checking the prices. It's gonna run me about $300. But if that bad boy if it drop below, then I'm gonna get it. And it's almost sort of an emergency purchase because I wasn't planning on buying one anytime soon. So that means, okay, I got to do it, but I'm committed to doing it because I prefer to have two printers. You say you have to be consistent, not for a few months, but for years of consistency. You have to think long term. And that's the thing. So with all of this talk of this notary coalition stuff, you got to have a coalition of people who plan on being in this business long term. The people who are talking that, they're not even doing the notary stuff. They're just talking about let's band together and march on the capital of the notary world and make them do okay. But how many people going to be in this business long term? How many going to be in this? How many of the people that you know that already quit this year? They started this year and they quit this year. They started yesterday and they quit yesterday. They say they're going to start tomorrow and they've already quit. You got that going on. So how are you going to have a coalition of anything if you can't even get people to stay in the business? And then you can't get people who understand and know how to do the business correctly. What kind of coalition is that? It's never going to work if you have a group of people who are not committed long term. Prove to yourself first that you can do something before trying to band with others. Show yourself that you can do this for a period of time before you start talking about, yeah, we need to get together and fight this thing. Fight what? Because if you stay in the business long enough, you'll probably realize that that's not something to fight. That's their fight because of their lack of willingness to do what it takes. That's them saying something is what it's not. See, as I got more and more into the business and having conversations with people who are part of this here, title companies, lenders, even some signing companies, I come to find out that, hey, some of this arguing and fussing and fighting about what's going on and what ain't, what is and all that. It's just people's personal thing. And it's not even like that. That's just them being lazy, them being unwilling to be obedient or to follow directions. They have a axe to grind and they need you to help them grind it. And they're too weak in the heart and the mind to address it for themselves or to make the necessary adjustments so that they can move into business. And they don't want to. They want it to be done a certain way, but they need you to pack the join with them in order to make this happen. And then when you start looking at it, you start realizing this ain't my fight. And here you have me who have worked hard for the last 7.5 years without these people. I have not had any help from any of these folk who are talking all this talk. They've never come up and say, hey, let me get. They've never offered me any advice to grow my business. And then all of a sudden, now you want everybody. Okay, no. No. Where will you win? Who gonna slide some money so I can get another printer? Nobody. I gotta make that happen. I'm not asking for no money to get a printer. I'm not asking nobody to give me a super chat for no printer. But what I'm saying is these people, they got a lot of mouth. And they make you feel bad that you're not at a certain level or a certain point in the notary business. But when they was in your shoes, they wasn't either. And now that they've grown some, they forgot where they come from. They forgot what they had to go through. And they make you feel bad about going through it. And are they really helping you, or are they just badgering you so you can spend more money with them? Are they making you think that there's some type of person that needs to be honored and worshiped and adored because they're somewhere where you're not, and you aspire to be where they're at, but in all honesty, where they're at is not someplace you really want to be. And they just want accolades. Some of these folks just want to be lifted up. Some of these people got self-esteem problems. They got all kinds of issues. And they use the TMC aspect, trainer, mentor, coach, to deal with that. They believe that they should be up here. They believe they should be adored, worshiped, admired, and they need that. And one of the best ways is, yeah, so and so taught me and trained me, and wow, I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. And they need that. So to make money in this business, you have to be willing to be your own boss. Just like you run your own household, just like you manage your own marriage, just like you take care of your own kids. You have to do the same thing in this business for yourself. And there's enough material out here, there's enough resources to find the answer for yourself without paying anybody any money. You ain't got to pay me. But if you want my help, okay, cool. But you really, I mean, you can figure it out. And if you're not to the point where you can figure it out, then it's understandable. But you got to make sure that whatever training you're taking is designed to truly help you overcome what you're not able to overcome on your own. If it's not helping you, if it can't help you to overcome that learning curve that you're dealing with, if it's not helping you to shed light on that dark area of the notary business that you just can't quite figure out, then it's worthless. It has to help shine the light in the area that is dark for you. And your dark area in the notary business is be different from somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the trainer, mentor, coach has to be able to deal with the different dark spots out here. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't want to. If you got a dark spot for notary certificates, that's why they don't mess with you. That is a huge dark spot for a lot of these trainers, and they will not touch that. But I will, because I got a big enough flashlight and I shine it right over there. And I promise you, you will be able to see everything you need to see with regards to notary certificates. And there are areas of darkness that I don't mess with. Apostille. I'll mess with that. I don't. I just I don't mess with that whatsoever. But you got to make up your mind on what you're going to do. So if you really want to make money in anything in this business, what level of commitment are you willing to make in order to see this thing through? And if your commitment level isn't where it needs to be, then you cannot be angry at what you're not getting. You cannot be upset that people have moved on and you're still stuck. That's on you. But I personally believe you can do this because you've accomplished so much else in your life. You raised yourself, you raised a family, you raised people at your job, you've done this, all of these things you currently are doing shows that you have the ability to go out here and to do this business or any business. You just have to manage yourself and your time better. But if you're not willing to do that, in other words, if you are constantly worrying about going on your next cruise, you're worrying about going to the next shopping spree instead of growing your business and focusing on that. That's on you. You can't be upset at anybody for your failure when you're not willing to make the commitment. When you put leisure over working hard for your business. That's on you. That's on you. So you got to make the decision. Now, is there any other questions? Because I know people come and they're like, okay, you're going to tell. I'm not going to say, hey, go do apostille and you'll make money. Go do this and you'll make money. What I'm saying is be committed. If you can't be committed, and I could have said this in the beginning, but I'm saying it now because I wanted y'all to be here when I say this. Wait and come in and hear everything I have to say. But you got to be committed. That's how you have success. Most people have successful marriages because they both are what? Committed to the relationship. If you're not committed to it, so commitment is the key. That is where you have to be. And if you're not willing to be there, then I don't know how many more courses you can take if you're not going to be committed to it. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? Let me check my email, see if anybody sent me an email or anything. I don't see any emails. I've been texting the family. I guess they got me on mute or something. Nope. Don't see nothing there. All right. So I assume that nobody has any questions about the notary business, about how to move in it or anything outside of who's the young lady? Who was that? Penelope. Outside of Penelope. And great questions, Penelope. Really are. It was all great questions. So that's it. That's all I got for you right now. Thank y'all as always. And now is the time for y'all to start evaluating where you're at in this business. Is the people you been kicking it with really helping you move forward? Are the things you're paying for helping you to move forward? And I will say this here. If you're angry about stuff in this business, take time out to identify why. And a lot of times it's because of your expectations of the business, and sometimes because you want to put forth very little effort, but you want a maximum return, and you can't even do that in your marriage. You can't do that on your job. You have a little bit. So what makes you think you're going to be able to do that in this notary business? If you want larger returns, you got to put more into it. And what you currently think you are doing that warrants a larger return may not really be all that special. Because in your mind, it's what you're doing. It's special to you, but it may not really be special at all. It's just what you're supposed to do. And a lot of times people want a lot of money off of what they're supposed to do instead of going truly above and beyond. And I'm not talking about explaining the documents and all this fake white glove service. There's other things you're supposed to be doing. Showing up on time, notarizing correctly, not trying to sell people on your Amway or Shackley or Airbnb business, not asking them for referrals, stuff like that. That's the stuff you got to get right. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Thank you as always. I greatly appreciate y'all. I hope you learned. I hope this gave you what you needed. It may not have been what you expected, but it was what I truly believe it was what you needed to make a decision whether you're going to go forward in this business. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.